Ladies and gentlemen, before we get started, this podcast is brought to you by Final Form Supplements. Final Form Supplements is a supplement brand with honesty labeling. So the labeling in supplements is Wild Wild West. Sometimes labels aren't honest. They have things in there that's on in there. We don't have to worry about that with Final Form Supplements. We got everything you need from protein powder, creatine, skin care, soap for your skin, handcrafted soap, and we have all kinds of things. Go to finalformsubs.com, that's SUPPS, finalformsubs.com, use promo code CoachStrib, all caps, no space, get 10% off your order, and make sure you like, comment, subscribe on whichever video you're watching here at Ivy Talks Podcast Network, and enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We are officially kicking off the season 2 of the NBA coverage. Technically, it's not the first episode of the season because of the Olympic coverage. I went ahead and just made that a part of season 2. But this is the first official season 2 or new NBA season for the NBA coverage. So this is the first season. It's going to be a little different, but I want to set up the formatting very similar to the WNBA, where I go over just the East versus West in terms of rankings, statistical leaders, and then go over some shout outs as things progress. I don't have any shout outs for this week, even though I should. I might come up with a couple off the top of my head, but I usually have notes of shout outs. But as the season gets going, I'm definitely gonna have some shout outs. But getting straight into it, first of all, we have a new NBA season. I'm excited. NBA season is my favorite season out of all the sports I watch. I do enjoy the NBA more than I do NFL football, just because I enjoy basketball as a sport more. I love both, but if I had to choose, I enjoy basketball more than football. So the NBA is my absolute favorite thing to watch in terms of sports. So let's get straight into the standings. We're just gonna go over East versus West. Start off with the East. Number one at the East, undefeated still. We have the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're playing phenomenal team basketball. Donovan Mitchell, Josh Allen, Karis LeVert. All these guys are playing really, really well. Cleveland Cavaliers are 1. Boston Celtics are 2, sitting at 4-1. Then Chicago Bulls, Orlando Magic, New York Knicks, Miami Heat, Charlotte Hornets, Washington Wizards, Atlanta Hawks, Brooklyn Nets, Indiana Pacers, Milwaukee Bucks, 76ers, Raptors, and Detroit Pistons there at 15th at last. In the West, we have OKC at number 1 spot. Again, OKC and Cleveland are the only 2 teams undefeated, and they're obviously both top of the East and top of the West, respectively. OKC, number 1 spot. Golden State Warriors are number 2. Phoenix Suns, number 3. Dallas Mavericks, 4. LA Lakers, 5. LA Clippers, 6. Timberwolves, 7. Kings, 8. Nuggets, 9. Rockets, 10. Portland Trailblazers, 11. Pelicans, 12. Memphis Grizzlies, 13. San Antonio Turner Spurs, 14th. And Utah Jazz, 15th. There at the bottom of the West. So statistical leaders, we have Tyrese Maxey in points per game at 31.5. Rebounds per game, we have Zubac for the Clippers. Yes, that's Clippers, yes. For the Clippers at 13.5. Assists per game, Trae Young with the Atlanta Hawks, 11.6. Steals per game, Jordan Poole at 3 for the Washington Wizards. Blocks per game, Chet Holmgren. I believe I'm saying his last name right, but Chet for OKC at 3.5. Field goal percentage, Jared Allen at 79.1%. 3-point percentage, Karl Anthony Towns at 72.7%. Now, the caveat with that is he's not a high volume 3-point shooter, so I'm sure it's going to come down a little bit, but right now he's at 72% from the 3. Free throw percentage, Naz Reid for the Timberwolves at 100%, and minutes per game, Tyrese Maxey at 42. We don't really care about minutes per game or turnovers per game. James Harden's number 1 at turnovers per game, but those are the statistical leaders for the NBA. And since it's only been about 5 games per team, some things that I'm noticing. Lakers offensively started strong. They were among some of the undefeated teams. They lost their last 2, but they started off the season 3-0. Offensively, they look way better offensively as a whole. Again, I do understand it's early, so a lot of these are assumptions, but I'm just talking about right now the past 5 games. Their offense is flowing a lot better. LeBron James had 34 points, 14 rebounds, 10 assists, 34-point triple-double a couple games ago. He had 26 points last game. So he's still playing at a high level in his 22nd season. I believe the 34-point game, he had 16 points in the fourth or something like that. He went crazy. He went 10 for 10 for his last 10 shots that game. Crazy. As well as just OKC playing great team ball. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is playing great. Shout out to Karl-Anthony Towns. He had a 44-point game. I believe that was their last game they had. So he's starting a little bit of inconsistency. He'll have like a good 20, 30-point game. Then he'll have like an 11, 12-point game. So I think he's still trying to like fit in terms of chemistry-wise. But the New York Knicks, they're looking solid. Josh Hart, we know, is a Swiss Army knife. He can do it all. Jalen Brunson offensively is a monster. Karl-Anthony Towns is a stretch big, so he can kill in the perimeter, and he's also going to dominate the paint as well as being a good rim protector. So you have a lot of teams that are going to have to figure it out a little bit early on. Clippers, they're starting off, not Clippers, the 76ers, they're starting off a little rough because Paul George got hurt. So he's been out for a couple weeks with the hyperextended knee. But a lot of ups and downs to start off, but a lot of interesting basketball in terms of guys on new teams, new faces on new teams, new coaches, chemistry, figuring it out, all that good stuff. Right now, though, I do think the Boston Celtics are playing the best basketball, even though the Cavs have the best record. They have the overall best record because they're 5-0. OKC, they're undefeated as well, but they're 4-0. They've played one less game. So Cavs do have the best overall record. But I think Boston's playing the best team ball so far. But we still have, again, the season just started last week. So it'll be interesting to see how this is going to ebb and flow. I was talking about new faces on new teams. Don't forget DeMar DeRozan's with the Kings. DeJounte Murray, shout out to DeJounte Murray, but he hurt his hand. He's with the Pelicans. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's new for this season. So I'm curious. Also, just starting to come to my head, Russell Westbrook's with Denver. He just had a 20-point game the other game. So a lot of new faces, new teams, and then some old faces on the same team, like Steph Curry with the Warriors. Warriors have only got one loss. They're 4-1, so they're doing well. Again, I'm excited to see how this season plays out, and I hope you guys stay along for the ride for that. But that's going to be all for this episode of Season 2 to kick off the season of the NBA coverage. And guys, if you remember last season, my co-host Calvin Williams, Coach Calvin, he will be returning. We're just trying to figure out scheduling, but I will be dropping these once a week. If we can't schedule things, it'll just be me. But Coach Calvin will be joining us for the pod, and we'll talk some basketball. But this is all for this episode of the NBA coverage. Catch you guys next week.